Hey, this is Anthony RevZilla. Watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Shark Spartan Helmet, available at RevZilla.com. This is the Spartan. No, not the graphic, the helmet itself, replacing the Speed R in the Shark line. Now, when we think about this helmet, this is the multifunctional, aggressive sport touring helmet from Shark. I dig this helmet. I think you can rock it in the tuck all day long, but ultimately it has a vent scheme that's gonna play a little bit nicer in the 3/4 to the upright riding position. Keep that in mind. You're looking at a DOT rated helmet, relatively lightweight, and if we look at it, they've really taken a bit of a leap forward in the tone, in the aggression, and really the styling for this new Spartan. Pin lock, max vision in the box. Again, they've revamped the helmet itself, but just over the $300 mark, there's gonna be a nice sport touring, commuting, and universally suited helmet. Now, quick note on Fitment. If you're thinking about how will it fit, intermediate oval in its head shape, little bit longer front to back. My head shape is intermediate oval, again, not overly round, not overly pronounced. The nice part is that Shark uses the Easy Fit system, so if you're wearing glasses under this helmet, eyeglasses or sunglasses, you have a little bit of a less dense area in the temples to get them in, but overall, it's gonna fit in line with what we'd see from most of the US market. Use a size chart, we'll ship free over 39 bucks, and I'd love it if you click our logo, subscribe to RevZilla on our YouTube channel, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback. So if we look at the outside of your Shark Spartan and we work our way in, again, you're looking at a helmet that's, again, under the 310 mark, 3 pounds, 9 ounces, so reasonably lightweight. It's going to be set up for versatility. And the biggest thing to call out from a versatility standpoint is your drop-down sun visor. Now, this is not a spring-loaded mechanism. It's actually friction, and what I'm doing here is I'm moving the slider along the back, and I like it for 2 reasons. The first is that it goes down plenty far enough. It will cover the bridge of your nose, get out of your line of sight. The worst drop-down sun visors stop mid-eye level, and then you end up with like a horizon line in the middle. Most manufacturers have stopped doing that, but you see it every once in a while. The second thing I dig about this helmet is that being that it's a friction and not spring-loaded, that means that you have an infinite number of positions. You put it where you want it and you stop it, depending on riding position, depending on comfort, depending on even where your face shape lands. So again, that's a really nice touch. If I really had to nitpick this helmet, I'm only gonna nitpick it in one area. And again, this is the Kraken graphic, super loud. High-vis Brian would be proud, but again, this one's kind of a punch you in the mouth graphic. There are more subtle and subdued graphics. Notice, 2-position chin vent. Now I have my max vision pin lock system. It's gonna vent to the face and the visor, but again, the max vision pin lock's not in. That's gonna be that double pane window effect. And what I also have is our 2-position open and closed chimney vent, all the way on the top, centered on the helmet. So again, upright, great, 3/4 great, full tuck, it's gonna minimize your venting a little bit, but again, that's why we call this more of a touring helmet or a commuting helmet. Now, if I turn it backwards, this is where it gets cool and I get a little sad. It gets cool because they've given you these 2 winglets in the back. Shark has done this before. Really cool. They stabilize the helmet. They give you a little bit of additional downforce. But what you're noticing here is these are solid. Even if they were translucent, you'd see that they're not open. They're not on top of a vent hole. So there's no passive extraction going on out the back. Typically, you see a couple passive vents that are going to allow warm, moist air to extract from your head. What Shark does really well, though, is inside on the EPS liner, you're gonna see that there are these shark fins, is what I call them. I don't think they call them that. Massive grooves along the center line. They run all the way down to the back of the helmet, and they exit out the bottom. So again, if you're in this position, forced air on the inside or on the front of the helmet, it's gonna push air out the back of the helmet. Sometimes though, if you have a couple vent holes in the back, although they're passive, they help with that extraction. They aid in the velocity of the extraction of warm, moist air from the helmet. Because again, touring, commuting, multi-season, you're gonna be rocking this helmet through, I would imagine, a few 100-mile days, or you're gonna be rocking it every day to work, which could be a half hour, an hour, depending on your commute. So you wanna have the best chance to cover your bases from that regard. Now, if we look at some of the other features on this helmet, notice, Shark does a great job with their visor systems. Nice big gasket going around, it comes down. What I like the most is, wait till you see how this guy comes out. Very, very simply. This is one of the few manufacturers that's using a non-button removal system. So you just kind of line it up, stick it back in, it pops in on both sides, takes about 2 seconds. Yeah, we taught my grandmom how to do it. Very, very simple. very limited in its moving parts, very simplified so that if you're rocking this with a dark smoke shield for some reason, but you have the drop down, so I don't know why you ever would, it's very simple to change the shield mechanism. And ultimately, check out your pin lock posts. Max vision, so they're way off to the side, and you're going to basically get full coverage around where you see these lines. Nearly the whole visor is going to be pin lock ready, which is a nice touch. Now, if I pull out the lid itself, which is reasonably lightweight, turn it on its side, this is where there's a sunsetter on this helmet. Now, some of you that don't watch as much TV as I do and aren't my age might not know the sunsetter joke, but this is a retractable awning. We saw Arai about a decade ago do a retractable chin spoiler. It came out like this far. We were like, really, Arai? Really? This guy goes all the way back, and it's non-removable, and it lives there. That's a really nice feature. I think a lot of people should try to copy that, and a lot of brands should try to do that. Shark, don't be sad that I said that, but it's just really well executed, the fact that it tucks away, but it gives you much fuller coverage. You're gonna want that at different times of the year to block air, keep you warmer, minimize noise. Again, there's a multitude of features, or benefits rather, that you're going to get from the chin curtain. Now, if I pull out my neck roll and my cheek pads all in one, notice how this all comes out. Again, there's a lot going on here. Notice my reflectivity along the back. Doing my best to try not to break it. Shark's giving me snaps. They're also giving me pulls. I think that's like a breakdance reference. I'm popping and I'm locking here. If I pull it out through the liner, you're gonna see double D-ring comes out. They're using the bamboo liner. Much like silver ion, bamboo is a natural antimicrobial, natural antibacterial lining that when it is woven into a microfiber that wicks, it is going to keep any kind of gunk or funk from festering. So these are going to stay cleaner longer. They're not going to smell, easy to rinse out, and that bamboo liner doesn't lose its properties over time. Notice, suede neck roll, reflective, grip panel in case you put it on the seat of your bike. This is going to interface with the rubber on your bike seat, so it's not going to roll away on you or slide. Very thoughtful, very functional, but it is a big piece. And once it's out, you kind of have to wrestle it a little bit. Yeah, I said wrestle, deal with it. So if I move out this side, again, this is a 20 millimeter. It is replaceable. You can change the density. And again, these are set up. This will take the Shark 2 system. I will go on the record and say we're not the biggest fans of the Shark 2 system, which is Shark's proprietary integrated Bluetooth comm unit. You know, we've seen it. We liked it when it came out, but ultimately the likes of Cena and Cardo have just kind of blown past the pack at this point. Don't send me angry letters. It's our opinion, and we're sticking to it. And if I open it out, or I pull out the rest of the comfort liner, notice the comfort liner here. 3D, sonically welded, minimization of snaps. It's going to be brow attachment along the front, so no pressure points there, and you'll never feel any snaps along the back because ultimately you do have a neck roll that just kind of lives, or the bottom of this connects by living up and underneath the EPS. Now, one of the things that's cool about this is, again, a muted shark fin system. It's not as crazy as something like the Race R Pro or the top end of the line, but you do have big 10 millimeter vent holes that are going to channel air all the way back down through the helmet, and they're going to extract across the back of this helmet, working its way down through the EPS. So again, rock solid design there, over the $300 mark. Shark has continued to innovate. They're out of France. I like what they do, and there's not a ton of gripes with this helmet. A lot of bang for the buck here, a lot of technology for the buck, and you have a rock-solid multi-season long-distance helmet that has a bit of a badass look. And again, this is the Kraken graphic, which is a little out of control for my personal tastes, but there are solids if you want to go that direction. Remember, drop-down sun visor was a welcomed add as well. The next step in your journey is click the info button on your desktop, your mobile device. Visit the product detail page at RevZilla.com. Read other rider reviews. Shouldn't just take my word for it. As always, we'll ship free over $39. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Stay updated with our opinion on the latest and greatest in the moto universe. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.